Good morning, guys. It's Saturday morning, day before Father's Day. I just woke up a little while ago. I didn't even think about doing this video right now, but it was something I have to do because it's getting ridiculous. I turn on the news and all I hear is stupidness. It's ridiculous. They are coming up with things that I don't even know why people even listen to it. They think for you all the time. Let's get into the system, the corrupt system. Let's get into celebrities. Let's get into everything, the way that the whole entertainment system works. First of all, if you represent wealth, you are looked upon by the people. So when you're looked upon by the people because you represent wealth, if you have money, they get to you. How they get to you? Very simple, one way or another. They either blackmail you. They'll tell you you have to do these things. Wear the dress. It don't matter what color you are. You know, it's not about being Spanish or black. They control the narrative for the longest time, but you have to understand how it works. You always heard about the date rape drug. When a woman gets slipped a drug where she wakes up and she don't even remember what happened, what the fuck happened, excuse the language, but that's the truth. Now, a lot of the things that they do to these celebrities, or it could be athletes, sport athletes, it could be people of power. They get invited, first of all, socialites, they socialize. You have to go to these events, and you go to these events, you get invited by so-and-so, somebody and you don't realize that at the end of the night, they're going to slip that into you, right? And this is the way it works. I'm just breaking it down to you because I've studied this. So now, you are Kanye West. I just came up with that name, for example. And you get invited to this party. And people's going to be there. Some people some people from far, some people of. And you're having a good time, you're having your drink, chopping it up. Somebody slipped that drug into you. Now, when you wake up, you are surrounded by cameras taking either pictures of you or recording you. You're in a bed and you're laying down, and there's a child next to you, and they're taking pictures of you. And then you don't remember what happened. And this is the stories I've heard over and over and over again. This is how they blackmail a lot of these young men and a lot of these other politicians. And some of them are just plain corrupt, and they're wicked. But the ones that are not, the ones that, are not really into this stuff, they do certain things because they have to, because otherwise they're going to get exposed as pedophiles, even if they're not pedophiles. They don't even know that they're not pedophiles, or they don't even know what happened, and they don't even care. They just don't want the publicity out there of something like that. You could just imagine, you're somebody who is known. You're a respected member of society or of your neighborhood. People look up to you, and you go to a party. You get invited to a party, and which happens all the time. It's common. It's something that happens all the time. And you get slipped this thing, this drug. And you wake up, you're in a compromised situation because they set you up. It's a setup. You might have not even touched that kid, God forbid, God willing, because they do this anyway. One of the first things that people need to understand, and I said this before, I'll say it again. When you go to vote, you choose a politician, whether it's the left or the right, you're still choosing the same bird. It's still the same system. They're still above us. They taught since they're very little that they're better than us because the blood that they carry. That's a whole different subject. I can't go into every single different subject, but I want you to get the whole idea. So, these people, the first thing that Trump did, even though they both the same bird, you have to understand that in 1963, after Kennedy died, they came up with the plan, and the plan was to avenge his death because he gave a speech about an invisible war, a mental invisible war, a war of the minds where there was no barriers, and that war came from within. That war came from within, the media, the people on politics, the people who feed you the information. How do you know what you know? Where do you get your information? How do you trust what is being told to you? You know, people are so gullible. It is so ridiculous right now. I can't, I'm disgusted. Um, I really am inspired by a lot of other people who are right now opening up their minds to wrap their heads around these things. But it's been far too long. Your parents grew up under the system. Your parents grew up under this system. We've been shaped our whole lives. If we really wanted to be where we want to be, we wouldn't be in this system right now. This is not about we the people. That changed in 1786 after the Civil War. The company from Delaware created the United States Corporation, and the United States Corporation created the Federal Reserve, which is not federal and it's not reserve, and there is no reserve in it. You know, it was taken out. The gold standard was taken out a long time ago, which is supposed to come back under Nazara Gazara if you do any information. But this system is corrupt. You see all these people, one after the other, like the Nancy Pelosi's, the Cunninghams, McKinnon, Alex Scott, Lex Lesnar. They're all been in power or in politics for a very, very long time. Why people allow that? You think these people want the best for us? We're not choosing them. Nothing in this world works the way you think it does. Everything we've been taught in history is a lie. Um, and how we got into this, how we got here is a very interesting thing to ponder, because what we're told is not exactly how things happen. When you was growing up, or when you was younger, there was a certain amount of dog breeds. Now they multiply them, they crossbreed them. There's so many more. What makes you think every time a civilization that's more advanced meets a civilization that's less advanced, what happens? What's the usual cause that happens? Destruction, annihilation, taking over, conquered. When the Europeans came to the New World, what happened to the Native Americans? This has been going on through history. Do your own history. Go around, do your own history, and see that that's just one example. Like when I gave you about Kanye West, that's another example. It could have happened to many good politicians that they got slipped into something and then now they're being blackmailed. Remember, Jeffrey Epstein's whole business was about being blackmailed, blackmailing people. He had the island. That's why you have Bill Clinton over 20 times in the flight log going to his island where they did the PD5. Hillary Clinton over 4 times. Barack Obama. Then you got the celebrities that all went there. Sorry, not all, but a lot of them went there. It's in the flight logs. Take a look at them. I took a look at them myself. Once you start doing your own research, this is not easy to find. They're not going to hand you this information. You have to do research. You have to go into background checks.